You know what time it is. Welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Ranhert, resident AP, plays mid and his eyes are shady. Got a syndrome, can't nerf it. You can find him in the chat, type of worth it. And that's Hornet, sucking ill hell. Thought it was going up, once again it fell. Never spent a single dime alone, and if you step into his jungle, expect a brawl. Offlander, math specialist, he's precise, doesn't tolerate estimates. The man's addicted by every hero, you can tell cause his bank account's stuck at zero. And last but not least, your host Ponophobia, picks an 80 carry, and he's on ya. He's got the full mount, ground and pound, don't get excited, it's not as sexy as it sounds. That's your whole team, enjoy the podcast, put your headphones on, we'll have a blast. We're checking email and Twitter of course, just don't ask us how four guys make a Triforce.
Hey guys, welcome to Trinity Force Podcast, episode number 25. My name is Ponophobia, and I am your host for this evening. I am always joined by Mr. Ranhert.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good night.
Good night, yeah, that's all right. End the podcast, we're done. And Offlander.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And of course, Hornet AJC.
Yeah, it's okay. Ranhert can go to sleep. He'll be all right.
We don't really.
At least he won't be diving towers that way.
I like to take my dirt naps under towers. I don't know.
Dirt naps. There you go. You can do your own digging.
We all sound very, relaxed and it's just another day. Another day, another podcast, right, guys?
I need new champs. I need Hecarim and Varus and all those goodies and things. And I'm excited.
I feel like it's a giant tease too. It's like, oh yeah, these are coming out. These are coming out. It's like maybe it's a month later they're actually going to come out. I mean,
well, you're
seriously.
not going to buy them, so what do you care? Put them out next year for all you care.
Hey, I got to know strategies against them. Because everybody else played them and buy them.
Freak has to do his summon or his champion spotlight as a jungler, and then it's like, oh shit, I might actually go against this champion. Who is it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I made the point, I think it was last week when Bad Administrator was on, which, by the way, thank you again for the intro. Really love it.
Yes, much.
And I made a point last week that I wanted them to patch less, and, because basically I wanted the meta, for their time, but for everything to settle in. But basically not having a patch for a few weeks now, I really miss it.
Yeah.
We got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. But I don't know. I in a way, I kind of like, the game's changing. At the same time, though, I don't know, I'd like it to be solved. I'm sort of basically a hypocrite. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
you can't help it. By the way, as far as champions go, I'll never trust Freak again when he says, oh, I take this champion in the jungle, because I've yet to see LuLu in the jungle now. I've seen LuLu mid, and she's doing some crazy stuff as far as mid goes. Like AP mid, she's pretty much a beast. She's hard to move out of lane when she's an AP mid. She's just a beast to try and move. I don't know if you guys have played against her, but it's not fun.
Oh yeah, I saw one last night on Battle Arena where Cuddles the Panda played her in the middle, and she would wipe out the wave very easily, pushing out I think Vesca Violet, who actually made our background too, I need to say real quick. VescaViolet.deviantart.com. You can find him. He does commission work and everything, so if you really like our overlay here, if you're watching live, he did that. So, thank you very much. But going back to your point, I believe he was playing against Vesca and was pushing him out of lane very easily, and then would... and while he built AP, she got 500 AP at one point in time, and her shield would heal you for nearly 900 health. And there was no way to kill it. She would put it on Lee Sin, who would safeguard Iron Will himself for 200, and then get the shield, and so that's an extra 1,000 life on top of his 2,000 you already had to chunk out.
And let me just say that her auto attack it's pretty nasty because of that pixie. It's kind of actually pretty annoying, because if she just pokes you a couple times, it's enough to push you to make you, stay in a safe part of the lane and then push you out of farm every once in a while. And it can just cumulatively add up as she just pushes and pushes and pushes. And she does have a lot of health late game. I was really surprised at how much health she can build really quickly per level. I'm not sure if it's any different. All that seems to be missing is that her move speed seems to be pretty slow. But other than that, she's a beast in mid. I've definitely seen her, and I've seen a couple streamers talk about it where she's pretty nasty in solo queue as well. So
go ahead.
I actually saw Soter today. I was watching his stream, and he played LuLu and did a pretty good job. played her. I think it was top. I was like half paying attention, and I missed actually the beginning of the laning phase because I think they had a Fiora mid that just went on Ranhert mode, basically, just repeatedly doing the dumbest thing you could ever imagine. And
this is what it's come to.
Yeah, Ranhert syndrome it's a lot of things. It's basically when you do something great that like, wow, there's no way on earth I should have made it out of that alive, but I just, got a double kill. And it's also like, wow, that may have been the absolute worst play I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's it's like well, whatever. I was gonna do some dorky language reference, but anyway, it's a phrase that can be used for multiple things. So anyway, yeah, he was playing LuLu and would just try to. I used his ult to try to save Fiora and basically would have saved Fiora a bunch of times, but the person playing Fiora was like every time the ult came on, it's like, oh, I guess I should keep attacking since I have more health. And I think he was playing with Odd One in that game, and I think basically the person playing Fiora just every time I've seen that person play against Odd One, he just completely trolls every single game. So I think it might have been like a personal vendetta.
I actually saw the Odd One compliment Soter the other day, who, for those who don't know, he's our resident 2K ELO player. I believe he's about 2.1K right now, might be just under it. I haven't checked recently, but he played with him the other day, was playing Janna support, had a beautiful ultimate when they were over by the Baron pit, pushing everyone away to re-engage, and Odd One actually typed, "Good ultimate, Janna." And I could see Soter's face light up a little bit when he got complimented by a pro.
Did the Fro stand up?
The Fro stood straight up.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's funny. So, yeah.
Soter also has the resident fro and beard, and we're trying to get him to cut it for charity. So if you'd like to bother him on his stream and check him out on the GG Classic stream on own.tv, we're trying to get him to consider cutting it for charity. So if you can name a good charity and bug him a little bit, we want to keep giving him keep putting that in his ear so that he'll eventually consider it.
Well, I've got a good charity.
Yeah.
Ranhert wants lessons from Dyrus.
Yeah. I don't think Dyrus wants Sotir's hair.
I also don't think Dyrus could teach you anything you don't already know.
I think we should post something on Twitter, basically and I saw Ranhert retweeted something from Phil Mickelson today, where it was like for every retweet this got, he was going to donate $1,000. So ours should be, though, for every retweet this gets, Soter will cut one hair off his head.
We will have to try.
He sends us a iPhone picture of like 4 hairs on a table.
Yep, 4 more retweets.
Every time live on the stream, he pulls a piece of hair out.
Yeah, and the hair will be like 8 inches a piece that he cuts, just how much hair he's got on his head.
Oh, that's funny. So, I wanted to bring up from yesterday, if any of you guys had watched on this channel, and GG Chronicled channel, we do shoutcasting on Mondays and Wednesdays. I do it with Tom, Optimus Tom, on Mondays. We do Battle Arena, and then on Wednesdays, Soter and Zero Cardinale actually do shoutcasting, and that's a chance for you to get in there and get your game shoutcasted so you go back and watch it the next day. And I really wanted to get people that are listening to this podcast or watching live right now to come around on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays is 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you can come in to QuakeNet and go to the GG Classic channel. We always ask for people to join and play the games. We want anybody of all skill levels to come play. The only prerequisite is you have to be level 30. And everyone in this chat right now can say, I've played in Battle Arena, and I'm sure you guys can attest to how much better of a player it made you.
Well, I don't know about how much better of a player, but it's definitely fun. I mean, you may get to play with your favorite podcasters, or you might get to play with some good players. So it's it's a mixed bag. You get what you get, and you go in and you have fun with it, and try not to suck too bad with the casters.
Yeah, just think of all the exciting conversations you can have with your friends the next day when you told them you absolutely shit on a podcaster in lane.
or you taunted Ranhert enough that he dove the tower at you and then you got him killed. That's the best one. You can definitely tell all your friends about that. It's like, oh yeah, I initiated Ranhert syndrome and I taunted him right into it.
That's what you have to
Which, by the way, if you actually are able to play with our friends, you're actually probably playing with players who are 500 elo better than us. That can happen sometimes. I'm just joking. But it's the time reference of our friends. They definitely have tailed us more than a thing or two that from playing better games in this battle arena, and it's a good learning experience to go back and watch the replay and see what you did and what you didn't do. And Sotir is there to give good Ponophobia also give good criticism on what you're doing and what you might be building and what you can do better. And you can go back and look back at it after you do it, and it really is a good learning tool. It's better, I think, than just looking at your own replays, where you can actually look at the entire game itself as it's being seen. So.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a little tough to take that medicine, like when you watch the replay and they comment on something stupid you did. Like, boy, why would he do that? And you're like, well, yeah, that's actually a good point. Why would I, initiate when, my 80 carries going back? But it's definitely a good experience. So.
I actually got, while we're talking about this, I got a voicemail in here on the T-Force. I don't know if I even should play it. I can't listen to it right now while we're talking, so I'm going to take a community vote here. Should we play this voicemail even though I have no idea what it says?
What, like blind?
Yes, just blind play it right now.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Are we worried about PG-13?
Yeah.
No.
Well, what if it's got some crazy racial stuff on it?
We didn't leave the voicemail. At least I don't think I did.
Yeah. Well, see how that worked out for Opie and Anthony.
Oh, it's only 3 seconds long. I'm gonna play it right now. I'm gonna turn up my mic really loud. Let's see what happens.
Oh God.
Wow, that was a great voicemail there.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling in, guys. Oh, I'll make sure
that was the wrong number. They got the voicemail. Like, what the hell did I dial?
Some assholes. Yeah.
Oh, make sure you write down that time right there, Ranhert, so I can actually put that voicemail in there when I go and.
I didn't write down anything. I haven't even been. No.
You better start.
Whoops. All right, fun.
So, while you're starting that, someone should talk about the awesome T-shirt contest that we were doing.
So yeah, just a reminder that we are doing a T-shirt contest for the Ranhert Syndrome T-shirt, and the contest is
you design. By the way, we're adding meetings as we go to what Ranhert Syndrome actually is.
Yes,
oh yeah, that's all sorts of things. But you designed the T-shirt. Send us your design at feedback@trinityforcepodcast.com. We'll choose the best one and actually make it a T-shirt, and then you'll get one of the T-shirts for free for being the winner. So send us your designs. There's plenty of places where you can go design a T-shirt. It's pretty easy. For those of you that want to know, Ranhert Syndrome is being a little overzealous, diving under towers, trying to get the kill no matter what it takes. Saying worth it even when it wasn't because you died.
Admitted you were powerless over Ranhert Syndrome and that your life had become unmanageable.
Yes. That's all those things are Ranhert Syndrome, and you design the T-shirt, send it into us, and if you win, then we'll send you a free T-shirt of your design. Our thanks to you for being great listeners and helping us out with the T-shirt. So we're excited about it. We'd like to get them. We've already gotten a couple, so send them in, and who knows, you may be the ones picked.
Well, there we go. So now that we've babbled on a whole bunch about this and that, I'm trying to get actually back into our document because I was playing that voicemail and it's on a whole different document. So bear with me while I chat here. We actually had an email come in from a listener, and he told me, make sure you say my name correctly on there. And his name is Antinectos. And he asked us 2 questions. And the first question he asked is, why does lifesteal seem more efficient than spellvamp? And he goes on to say, compare a caster with 50% spellvamp and 80 carry, 50% lifesteal. The 80 carry will 100% of the time gain back more health than the caster, even if they have the same attack speed. So why is that? And I kind of want to get that over to the Mathlander here. I know he hasn't done any pre-math, but...
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, you even mentioned it to, I think in an email to me. But basically, it's because the spellvamp, it's all dependent on your actual abilities that all, are affected by cooldowns, whereas lifesteal is just, your auto attacks, basically. And those are, even if you have no attack speed, you're still attacking 0.7 times a second or something like that. So, and in most case scenario, you're usually over 1 attack per second, by the point where you'd have a significant amount of lifesteal. So that's basically why. I mean, assuming there were no cooldowns on your abilities, then yeah, you'd do just as much damage, getting as much life with spell vamp as you would with lifesteal, but it's just because there's no cooldowns.
Very simple, easy answer for that one. So he goes on and actually says that after they released the new runes, he bought all the 5 for 10 runes, seals.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah, gold for 10 runes. And he's replaced all his seals with those and all his quints with those, and he wants to know if that was the correct thing to do and if he's missing out any important stats. And I kind of want to lead that one by saying I've actually changed up how my runes have been recently. And if I go over here to my Alistair, I have an Alistair Soraka page. I don't run the seals anymore on that page. I actually run mana regen on both of them. You don't really need it so much on Soraka as you do like an Alistair. And if you run down, a lot of people run down the utility tree in their masteries and pick up that extra gold per 5 that you get from the greed ability, which ends up giving you gold per 10, which ends up giving you 5 gold per 10, and that's really all you need in the bottom lane. You don't need all that extra gold per 10. It's nice for all those extra wards and everything, but if you have a good carry with you and you know when to go back to pick up the Philo Stone and everything else you need, you'll find yourself not building that many items, and instead you get a Philo Stone, you got boots, and now you're spending all your money on wards.
You don't run armor seals on Alistair?
No, I run armor marks on Alistair and the mana regen, so I can. Oh. I'm just way aggressive. I mean, I understand that armor makes you tankier, but I start with 45 armor on him already, because I'll get hardiness, not to mention the armor seals, marks that come out of him. So I've never felt the need to need those, because your ultimate makes you as tanky as you need to be.
Now, the one thing I do want to say is, because the way he says it on all his rune pages, I know for a fact that I don't think you should do it as an AD carry. I think you are missing out on too many stats, especially armor penetration, which, Mathlander can vouch for this, because I know we've discussed it before, where how good armor penetration becomes, especially after level 3. Having extra gold helps, but a lot of times those runes that your stats that you may be missing out on actually really help you, especially when either the first team fight happens or the first real engage from a jungler comes into a particular lane. A lot of times that's going to be the difference between a kill or you dying. Especially, I know when I build my Janna rune page, my Janna rune page only has gold per 10 quints, and then I do. Let me pull it up real quick just to be sure I have it right. But I do, mana regen, glyphs, armor seals. I do 6 cooldown reduction reds and 3 magic penetration reds as a mixture, but you got to look at it as there are some stats that you really can help you sustain. I know there's a lot of times where we've seen a lot of pros that they'll run top lane, they'll run almost all armor, depending on who they're facing, just so they have the sustain that they need. Or, for instance, in like an Aurelia page, I know a lot of Aurelia pages have health per 5 quints. So just to give you some idea of some things that I think you might be missing out on by doing all gold per 5 on all your rune pages.
And it's not a bad idea either with your seals. I have a gold 4 gold per 10 support page where I run just enough the greater seals of Averance to get 1 gold per 10 on it, and then I run the rest of my seals as armor. And I'll also use that as an Alistair if I feel I'm going to be way more aggressive, and I won't need the mana regen, because that gives me 1 extra gold per 10. I do have the quints and everything, and then I just run flat magic resistant flat armor in between everything else. And there's just so many different ways that, like you said, you can do your runes to make yourself either tankier, sustainier, have your cooldowns down and everything. So, and yes, I realize I keep saying gold per 5 instead of gold per 10. I'm much more used to playing other games.
Now, can you talk about the AD carry part of it, because, or you are Auslander, because I know you guys did the math on it, and that would actually be relevant to this.
Which is
for the armor penetration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the armor pen, it depends on which champ you're playing. If you're playing like Corki, armor pen isn't better, because your E is going to shred armor anyway, and plus your passive deals true damage based off, I think, your bonus AD. Adam would probably, Pone would probably know that better than me. But on any champion where you're basically just going to auto attack, like that's where the majority of your damage is coming from. Running just straight armor pen is like way better. The downside is it makes last hitting early, more challenging. You have to be way more precise.
Yeah, way more precise. I'm so used to last hitting with that extra 15 AD that I get.
Yeah, because basically you're doing true damage to minions, regardless if you go all AD or if you go all armor pen. Up until I forget, I used to know the time, but I think it's maybe 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say it's 10-12 minutes. You did.
Yeah, you're basically doing true damage anyway, just with the regular masteries, with the 10% armor pen, and also the 6 armor pen on top of that. So yeah, basically on someone like Ashe or I think I worked it out that on Caitlyn it made sense to run just straight armor pen.
That was the one I remembered.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlyn's kind of a borderline case because her Q and her R both scale off of AD. But basically it's small margins, but you come out ahead. I wonder if I still have that. Actually, I had a Google Doc with Vayne
and Caitlyn, didn't you?
Oh yeah, there it is.
When I've tested this a little bit, and the Caitlyn one worked well for me, but I was against a lane like an Ezreal that wasn't pushing hard against me, and I think that's what it comes down to, is knowing your opponent or knowing how your opponent's carry plays. Because if you're going to go against a Graves, he's probably going to be pushing the wave at least back to your tower or right next to it, so you need to try to keep up with him the best you can, so you don't get, so you're not forced to last hit under your tower, because no one likes to do that. So running that mixed AD or just straight AD page is going to help you more to keep those minions pushed. Now, if you're playing like Caitlyn LuLu bottom lane versus, I don't know, Ezreal, anything that isn't Taric, you're gonna have a better job of being able to poke them out. It's just knowing the matchup is really what that comes down to, and it's not just Caitlyn versus Vayne. It's Caitlyn versus Vayne and what support.
Now compare that to if you were to change those to gold per 10 items or gold per 10 quints.
Oh yeah, you're giving up. I mean, basically, if you're going armor pen against another AD, you're basically doing true damage at level 1, and then at level 2, it's not quite true damage. It's it's a little bit above, and you're giving up. If you're running armor pen, it's like 20. I think it's 25 armor pen from the runes. So you have 10% armor pen plus 31 additional armor pen. So you're basically doing true damage.
Isn't it 25 armor pen?
25 for the runes. Yeah. Six for masteries, and then 10%. So you're basically doing true damage for at least level 1, and then you're way ahead level 2. So you're giving up all of that on level, you're giving up basically probably, I don't know, I could do the math real quick, but you're giving up quite a bit of damage, if you're going to harass by going gold per 10 on the carry.
Carry. But see, like you had mentioned Ashe earlier, playing that, and I've been playing her a lot more lately, thanks to you guys saying, hey, you should play Ashe. And
yeah, it's awful. Your Ashe is terrible, by the way.
Yeah, my Ashe is awful, apparently. He just wants to keep me down. Apparently I'm a gremlin. You still want to
that
walk
Ashe.
Midnight. I've been actually playing Ashe more, and when I play her, I'm kind of passive for like the first 4 or 5 levels, because I like to level up her E before anything else. Like I'll do W start, then 2 points into E, and then 1 in the Q, and try to get to my E to level 3 as quickly as I can, assuming the lane is going in my favor, and just AFK farm. And if I'm doing that, I want the extra AD to be able to AFK farm with, because it makes it easier, and I'm gaining more gold. So even if I miss 5 or something CS, I'm still ahead of the other carry.
Yeah, I just did some quick numbers. These aren't like super accurate, but basically if your opponent has whoops, 1 second, if they have like 34 armor, your armor, you're giving up like 23% armor pen. So basically it's like 15, you're giving up 15 damage on the other, whoever your target is, per auto attack by running gold per 10. So like really, especially on the 80 carry, you should definitely run like standard runes.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't want to give up those quints anyway. It's not worth it to have that extra 3 gold per 10.
I just completely crashed my browser. Little known fact: I have a macro on my mouse. This is like it's an inside joke that Adam, Apone, and even Optimus Tom and I have, is that whenever you're in a game and someone's like good luck, have fun, we always reply in all chat, don't tell me what to do in all caps. So I actually have a macro on my mouse to do that. So I was trying to figure out the numbers, I actually hit the macro button and it started typing it in. I couldn't get it to stop.
Was it delayed when it typed it in too?
Yeah, it's so slow. I have to like...
If you have any doubt about us trolling in games, yeah, we still do.
Oh,
we still
my
do.
God. Last night we played, I had 80 Janna bottom with a Nunu, and it actually worked out quite well. However, DC Wasabi was playing top Caitlyn and started trolling. He was, by the end of the game, he was 0-20 and nothing. Because he just started running into people and dying. And the enemy team was like, screw you, you're only worth 10 gold. One guy said, the big race worth more than you.
The big race is nice.
So yes, we definitely troll.
We definitely troll each other. Now, as far as the other lanes go, I know I'm almost positive you can't do it mid and you can't do it top. I could see it possibly working for certain junglers.
You could maybe do it top, but it would be like very specific. Like maybe on like Shen, someone that's just kind of like broken. Maybe even Warwick. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either because you're giving up, especially top. You're giving up a ton of armor and.
See, when you're up there by yourself and you don't get much visitation from either jungler, you're just in one-on-one situations. That gold is gonna. I don't like how that matchup would go. I think that would really hurt the setup and hurt what would eventually happen between the two.
Yeah, I mean, you just would have to be playing a champion that was like so broken that it almost wouldn't matter what your runes are. Like that's kind of why I said Shen. Like Shen, basically, you could probably run any runes and you'd be fine top. And then even Warwick to an extent. I mean, he's got some bad matchups too, but you know, he's just got so much in like natural sustain, and you'd probably be fine with him. But yeah, I mean, you're basically, it's like you're gambling that you can, you know, make it through to the point where you get your first couple items where you sort of catch up. And
right.
I don't know, it's really like a gamble that I don't think is necessarily worth it.
Well, you run the gold pretends in the bottom lanes. One, you're not taking any CS, and that's really the reason you're not taking any CS at all. So you need that gold income so you could buy wards, and supports are not that item dependent as the other champions. So they don't need as such a heavy, steady income of gold to come in, and any gold they get is going to go to wards, and most people just build a Shurelya's. You know, that's pretty much what they're rushing on most supports anyway. So, and you're going to have that after a couple assists, assuming you're in the right fights and the right positions.
I was going to say the first two things I rush are, for Janna, for instance, are Heart of Gold and Philo Stone. And make sure I got those two even before I have my cooldown reduction boots.
Right. Well, she's fast already with.
Right, exactly. She's fast already, but so you don't have to usually worry about it. You usually can just get as a matter of fact, sometimes I don't even get tier 1 boots until after I have the 2 gold per 5 items, just because. It's all dependent, but it's one of those things where I definitely think the gold per 10 runes are definitely huge and nice on supports, and I think they make a big difference overall. But I was trying to think, I could apply, and I might test this out at some point, I could apply gold per 10 to a jungler like Maokai. I think there's a chance there that he could, because there's not too many quints that really benefit him to a massive extent that you can't get stats from other runes someplace else. So I may try that sometime because you automatically rush a Heart of Gold with him anyway.
What quints do you run on
Philo
him
Stone
now?
and Heart of Gold. So it's that may be a thought I have to go check into, at least look into.
What quints do you run on him now?
I
was going to say, do you run like experience or move speed?
I actually run ability power for him.
Okay. But it could easily be swapped out for something else. You think?
Those could, but the ability power. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing all that much damage overall. I think the only reason I ran ability power is just so I go through the jungle quicker.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the first pass, I think that was the whole idea behind that. But if I ran gold, I bet I could still do it. And that may actually be a benefit in the long run if I got quicker itemization with it.
I was going to say, I
What's
guess
that?
that's something you need to do the math on, is getting 3 extra gold per 10 seconds worth it over extra experience or anything.
Right. How much gold does that put in for, say, like a 30-minute game?
Mathlander.
Yes.
We'll have to run
18,
that.
yeah, 18 gold per minute. So whatever.
18 gold per minute. I don't see you really getting anything any quicker with only 18 gold.
18. So it's 54 times 30.
So what do you want to say? Like, it's 18 times, say, like a 35-minute game. So yeah, it's 630 gold. So
a few wards and
two cloth armors and almost a health pot.
I mean, I would. You know what it had to be I just had to experience it, because that would all depend on, where in my jungle routing that I would normally go back to base. Would I actually have enough gold to get another item from?
No. Maybe another health pot.
That would have to be where that plays out, and of course the jungle routing would be slightly longer because of not having the AP in there. So
it would definitely be another health pot. So I don't think you'd be better off with like move speed. Maybe it'll make you run it through a bit quicker, or even experience if you don't want the AP.
Yeah.
I know Dan Din used to run them on, I think, Rammus, the pre-nerf Rammus. I don't know if he would anymore, but he used to run gold per
Yeah, that would make sense.
Quints, because he's already kind of tanky. He doesn't really need. Doesn't really benefit from all that many stats other than maybe more armor. But
right. Did we lose Ranhert in all this?
No, I'm here, but I just
Okay.
I hate the numbers. So
I just want to make
you
sure
guys do the numbers, and I'll just be here for comedic value.
I just want to make sure your daughter didn't go nutty on you or something.
No, she's fine. I'm still here.
All right, good buddy. So, you know what? I think lastly we should actually do a segment that we haven't talked about in a while, and it actually has to deal with you, buddy.
With me?
With you.
Oh, wow. So I guess we're going to do support Ranhert then?
No, we're actually just going to close out the podcast.
Okay, we're going to play the hump the bottom of the tower game?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Eat the dirt, Gabe.
Yeah. If you see only 2 bars, there's a good chance you can kill them. So do everything in your power. Flashes, whatever it takes.
Even if it's flashing into a turret to try to hit them.
Hey, you flash in. You don't flash out.
Yeah.
The hell?
You solve one problem at a time. You worry about that later.
Yeah.
You've got the kill. You have to do the dance for the victorious dance under the turret, right?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you get the kill, you can say worth it to all chat.
It reminds me when I was like 19, I went on this trip, and it was I think we were going to Ohio, and it was like an 8-hour car ride, and I spent all my money on the ride there, just buying dumb shit. I literally had no money for the entire weekend. That's basically another definition of Ranhert syndrome. You spend all your resources on getting to the destination, and then when you get there, you got nothing.
You blow it all. This is
Exactly.
why we need to teach you. We need to watch you play, characters like Lee Sin and Jax. So maybe you can get in and get out. Learn to pull yourself out of those situations.
Well, when he plays LeBlanc, he refuses to bounce back once he just.
He will never use his W.
He's like, nope, I'm staying in.
Yeah, you're in.
You don't waste your W on 2 blinks, right? Or your R.
You gotta get in there and do it.
I can only imagine if you played somebody like Gragas, you'd charge in and not have the ability to charge out because the cooldown wouldn't be up in time. That'd be the thing that she would do.
Yeah, pretty much. Enough about me.
How about more about you?
Let's support me. Let's keep me alive, for God's sakes.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so I've got 2 picks. The first one's a little unconventional. Second one's pretty conventional, and I don't think we've done either. I know we haven't done the first one. So I guess let's change it up, and we'll do Pone. And,
oh, God, you said my real name. It is all over.
Yeah, well, they don't know your last name. Trogswell.
Oh, God.
Too fun. All right, so you do. We'll do Pone and Hornet.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
No, he's too good with the math. He'll actually get the right answer every time. Gotta go with gut instinct.
I'll get the right answer, and then you guys will just pick Hornet anyway.
That seems good.
All right.
It's good to go.
So the first one, I am going to play an AD Twisted Fate.
We already did that one, didn't we?
80
No.
Twisted Fate? No way.
I thought Tom picked it. Oh, whatever.
Tom doesn't matter. We don't even like that guy. He's the
I like
worst.
Tom. Tom is the best, and I will not let you besmirch his name in my presence.
Tom is the worst.
Talking about Optical Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite person on Twitter, Optical Don. Everyone should definitely follow him.
He's been kind of quiet recently.
Yeah, you have to kind of poke him for him to post something. But I have a feeling he might rear his head again soon.
Oh my god.
All right, so AD Twisted Fate. What you guys gonna pick?
All right, I got this one. I'm actually gonna support it with a Nautilus bottom lane because it's a giant lumbering Hulk. He has such great mobility in and around the map. Not to mention sitting in bottom lane. You pop somebody with a Q. Now they're stunned. Now I've got them. Or I'm sorry, they're brought toward you. Now I've put them in place with my passive. You follow up with a gold card. I suddenly hit my E. They are so slow that they can't get the hell out of there. And if I'm level 6, I also have an R. They are going nowhere. Now, if I'm with Ranhert, I can't expect the gold card to ever actually come out in time, so it'll probably be a red or a blue card. And that's why I have the ultimate on Nautilus to make sure they don't go away.
Now, you said mobility on the map, where he has the slowest mobility of anybody out there. Yeah. So
if he gets, I
gotta refute that one a little.
No, let me say, if he gets into a bad gank, his Q is gonna be back up to get him out of the gank. So if Ranhert dives me under a tower, I can get the hell out of the tower with a Q.
So how else are you initiating then?
My Q is just gonna come back up in time, of course.
No, okay.
He's running old cooldown runes.
I'm gonna say a similar champion that came to mind is Leona, and the reason is because not only do you stick to a champion, but there is a consistent stun lock that would happen from a combination of an AD Twisted Fate and Leona. Leona is out there out front. You can coordinate the stun, keep somebody in place, and work your way through with all the abilities. The damage that would sit on somebody once Leona was on top of them from an AD Twisted Fate, I think would just keep them right in place. I also like the fact that her ranged ultimate is so good for starting the initiate, not to mention that she can be out there and out front starting the initiate, and Twisted Fate can teleport in from behind or the side and finish off anybody that Leona would initiate on. So I'm going to say Leona for this.
All right. I don't know. I can't really choose a winner. I'm going to pussy out. But obviously the theme there is that, you know, if you picked AD Twisted Fate with the gold card, just having that extra stun and picking a support that has a bunch of stuns and does damage, along with Twisted Fate, is going to be a pretty strong pick. Plus, with Twisted Fate's ultimate, you know, if all the stuns or the CCs and slows and everything and you know, your target's still getting away, he does have that ultimate to be able to get behind him and take him out that way. So there's a lot of utility there. You don't see it very often because he does have a short range. But AD Twisted Fate used to be pretty popular back in the day. So it could happen, could work. I'm actually working on getting back into playing Twisted Fate in mid, so that's why I picked him. But for
just what you need, just what you need.
Yeah, I do. I need to be able to
you need to be able to teleport to the turret.
Yeah. He'll get out of the turret. He'll walk into it, then teleport out of the turret.
Yeah. Easy.
Easy.
That's good use.
I want to witness this.
Exactly. Hey, after this, we can witness it all you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then the next one, we will pick the riding Yordle Corki.
Well, since I won that first one, obviously, I'm just going to go ahead and go on this time, too. I'm going to pick Jarvan because I'm helping. That's it. That's my argument. Anyone who gets that reference, I hope.
I don't know how you're helping.
I'm going to pick Taric. It definitely helps when you have a little bit of extra armor on Corki, but also the stun that ends up keeping them in place so that Corki can burst somebody down. Corki is definitely punches out a bunch of DPS, but he really needs the ability to sustain in lane, and I think Taric provides a great sustainability with extra armor, a heal, and a stun to keep somebody in place to let Corki target his damage to one specific spot.
Well, there we have it. obviously we got a winner. It's Hornet.
Oh, I see how it is.
I mean, it's common knowledge that Corki's Gatling and his ultimate cannot make it through Jarvan's ult. So that's just ridiculous. I don't even know what you're talking about.
But I give you the attack speed passive. I mean, come on.
Have you seen La 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 Demacia?
No, I don't
Jarvan's
watch
a
that.
wuss. Yeah, we need to watch it because it's funny.
Because you have nothing better to do during work than watch
Yeah,
a
pretty
bitch
much.
riding a boar. Or oh, I think I just found the outro music for this week.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the bitch riding the boar. So, you guys got anything else for our loyal fans?
Thank you.
We
for
do
listening.
love you. I promise. We may not say it very often, but we do.
Yes, we love everybody who listens, and we.
Actually, I have something.
Oh,
this
yes,
is kind of stupid. I may or may not have an EU West PAX Jax code. So just I guess contact me on Twitter at DuralSlander. First person that does it, I'll give them the code. I don't know if it's gonna work. It might not. So no promises. But
We seem to do that a lot with our codes. Well,
Yeah,
this
well,
could work.
I had a code that actually Pone gave me last year. He went to PAX East and he gave me a PAX Jax code, and I redeemed it, and I think it might have been US and EU. So I never used the the EU portion of the code. So if anyone from the EU West, it's a shot. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but give it a go.
Some of the first people to listen to this better get it because no one tweets at him anyway, and if they do, I just spam them back and tell, don't tweet at my Auslander!
Yeah.
I want to keep anybody away from you, buddy. You're all mine. Put you in my little pocket.
Yeah.
Cricket?
He's so happy about that.
I know, I can tell.
Can't you tell?
So, no, thanks everyone who's been listening to this, and we have made it to episode 25, so we are a quarter of the way there to 100. It's going to be quite a while before we actually make it that far, but I'm glad we have all these listeners, guys. We love the hell out of you. Thank you for listening every week, and please send us any kind of feedback about the podcast, what we can do differently. I've had lots of people contact me about many different things, and it's helped make this podcast better every time that we come out with one. Actually, hopefully this week and last week, the podcast will sound better when you download the MP3 than it has in the past, thanks to another listener who wrote in and said, hey, I can really help you use Audacity better. So if you guys have any ideas, anything that you want to shoot to us, any segments you want to be brought on, or if you have any contacts, people that could be on the podcast, we are totally open. I respond to every email that comes in, and this is your podcast as it is ours. So you are a fan, you're a listener, you guys are what drive this. So please let us know. And Auslander, can you tell them where to get a hold of us at?
Sure, you can give us a phone call at 203-494-203-493-6723. You can also text us at that number. Or if you want to send us an email, it's feedback@TrinityForestPodcast.com, or follow us on Twitter, TForestPodcast. We'll basically reply to just about everything that gets tweeted to us. That's the Banhammer shop. And yeah, that's it for this week.
Oh, so you know what I just realized? I haven't been recording this episode
On
Owned. So let's just hope I have it a local recording for you guys, so you can watch it tomorrow. With that, you guys are getting some kind of like T-Force logo and the audio put up there. So thanks, guys, for listening. We will catch you here again next week. Hopefully we'll have the Heck Room patch and all the patch notes to talk about, and we'll guys give you one of our amazing shows. So see ya.
Soup.